All right, today we've got a really great story about a classic business problem. What happens when a company, a really successful one that's been around for over 60 years, suddenly realizes that the old way of doing things is actually holding them back? It's a story about a Chicago meat vendor, a ton of paperwork, and the one digital fix that changed absolutely everything.
So, this is the big question, right? For any business that's been around for a while. When the way we've always done it starts causing more headaches than it solves, how do you get out of that rut? Can a company that's 60 years old really break free from the paperwork trap? Well, let's see how one company pulled it off.
Our story kicks off right in the heart of America's meatpacking history, Chicago, with a company that's basically a local legend. Let me introduce you to Northwest Meat Company. They started way back in 1958. Now, this family business built its entire reputation on two things: incredible USDA-certified meat and just amazing customer service. For decades, if you need a quality protein in Chicago, these were the people you called. But here's the thing. Underneath that amazing reputation, a huge problem was starting to bubble up. The very same manual processes that had worked for them for so long were now creating a serious overload. So think about it. Customers are getting these fantastic products, but behind the scenes, the internal team was just dealing with this constant, grinding headache. The old system was becoming a massive bottleneck. And this slide just lays out the chaos so perfectly. On the left, you've got the old way. I mean, meat prices can change every single day, right? But their paper catalogs couldn't keep up, which caused all sorts of pricing errors and confusion. Every single order had to be written down by hand. And communication, it was just a mess of late-night phone calls, random texts, and emails. The goal was to do a complete 180, get real-time, accurate pricing, super simple digital ordering, and have all communication in one organized place. Yeah, this whole situation just wasn't sustainable. The team knew they couldn't just work harder. They had to find a way to work smarter. It was definitely time for a digital fix. And this is where Andrew Neva from the company steps into the picture. He saw all this inefficiency firsthand and just knew that things had to change. So he's the one who started looking for a technology partner that could bring their whole ordering system into the 21st century. And what they found was a platform called BlueCart. So what is it? Well, to put it simply, it's a tool made specifically for vendors like them and their clients. It gives the clients a price catalog that's always up to date and a really easy, modern way to just hop online and place their orders. And you can just feel the relief in this quote from Andrew. That boom, that's the sound of all that chaos just vanishing. All the time they used to spend hunting down information, writing out orders, double-checking prices, poof, gone. Now it's all right there on one screen. That is a total game changer. Okay, so they found their solution. But what was the actual, measurable impact? Well, the results were pretty incredible, starting with a massive 20% boost in speed. And this wasn't just about feeling a little more organized or less stressed out. Nope, switching to this digital system had a direct, powerful, and measurable effect on how fast their entire operation could run. And here's the big headline number: a 20% increase in procurement speed. Let me put that in perspective for you. For every 5 hours they used to spend processing orders, they got 1 hour back. That is a huge amount of time that frees up the team to focus on what they're actually great at: taking care of their customers.
This table just sums up the transformation perfectly. Pricing, it went from being inconsistent and confusing to always being 100% accurate. Ordering went from this manual chore to a simple one-click process. Communication was finally all in one place, and maybe most importantly, their clients were always in the loop, totally informed about what they were buying and exactly what it was going to cost. It was a win across the board.
But this story is about more than just one company's success. So let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger lesson here for any modern vendor. The key insight here is that this isn't just a story about a meat company. It's really a lesson for any established business. It proves that you don't have to choose between your legacy and being modern. The right tools can actually help you keep what makes you great while also making you more efficient and relevant than ever. So, what are the big takeaways? First, that old, if it ain't broke, don't fix it system is probably slowing you down more than you think. Second, digitizing your main processes is the fastest way to save a ton of time. Third, having accurate, real-time data builds that critical trust with your customers. And finally, and this one is so important, technology doesn't replace great service, it frees you up to provide even better service. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. In your own work, what's that one manual process that's just draining your time and your energy? And what could you do if you digitized it and got all that time back? That's it for this one. Thanks for watching.